All right, today we're going to break down Jimmy Garoppolo and the passing offense, and then I'm going to come back and break down the rushing attack. So during the past few weeks, we've been told that Jimmy Garoppolo is the most effective, the most efficient quarterback in the NFL. And a lot of it's just citing his EPA number. What EPA doesn't tell you is that when they throw a screen pass to Deebo Samuel against the Chicago Bears, for example, and he races 83 yards, all of that EPA goes to Jimmy, and it hypes him up like he is doing all of the work. What I want to show you during today's breakdown is he's still the same inconsistent passer where there will be one series where he will miss 3 throws in a row. He'll come back the next series and hit 3 throws in a row. So let's start with this very first play. It is the very first drop back of the game for the 49ers, and it's a miss, and it's a critical miss. And these were all over the place during the first half. So here we go. As you can see, Deebo goes in motion, and the concept is pretty clear. So it's just a clear out route. It's an over route. Travis Benjamin to the bottom of the screen here. He is going to run off the coverage. With that, George Kittle is going to come across the middle, replace, and run an over route. That's where the ball should be, because as always, he will tell you where to go with the ball. If he sits, throw the over route. And as you can see again, it's a really good design just because all of the moving parts. You have the motion, so Deebo Samuel comes across, and then, here, let me run it. By Elijah Mitchell coming to the flat right here and carrying out his fake, he holds the flat defender for the Vikings, which means there's nowhere else to go, you would think, besides Kittle here. Doesn't get there, throws it high and into double, maybe triple coverage, and it's an incomplete pass, as opposed to an explosive gain where you have George Kittle running one-on-one with Harrison Smith, 22, chasing him, and only a safety there. So that was the story of the game. To start, anyway, for Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, nothing says inconsistent like missing a play on one throw, coming back, and hitting a throw on the next play. So here we go. They are going to run a 5-yard in to the bottom. Brandon Ayuk is in the slot. He's going to run up, and he actually kind of runs into this over route coming across the middle. George Kittle is going to run up, out, and run a return route that they like. And the play is going to go to Juwan Jennings up top. He's going to run a glance route, so it's 10, 15, and really, really skinny. Jimmy's going to throw with good anticipation. He's going to get the ball out on time, and it's going to be a first down, and a much-needed first down. You can see safety is just a split second late to get there. But, again, it seems like these two, somebody's at the wrong depth underneath. As far as the receivers go, you don't want your guys running into each other. But the spacing for the concept works just because you get one-on-one with your wide receiver. And if Deebo's out, they're going to need Juwan Jennings to continue to make plays. Not the greatest guy at creating separation, but he can make these catches in space, or in tight windows, I should say. So watch it from the end zone view, and you can see how close the safety was to getting this play. I will say, as all the critique that you will hear from Jimmy this game, I think he's doing a much better job as the season's going on, just giving his guys a chance. And he did that this game, and there are going to be tight window throws. And, these are the things that I've pretty much been complaining about all season, where it's the NFL. You have to just trust your guys to make throws. He did so right there. Good job. First down. All right, the 49ers come right back. So they go slant and then slants. Double slant concept. Every team in the NFL runs it at every level, college, high school. Jimmy just airmails it. Brandon Ayuk's wide open. You shouldn't have to do that. And that's your wide receiver one. He should be able to run underneath it, run after the catch, and hopefully, create something where he gets one-on-one, but he doesn't even have a chance to. And that's an issue. And that was an issue all game. So, easy pitch and catch. People are complaining about running the ball, but on first down or early downs, knowing that they had success. But that was easy right there. That was a layup. That was missed. All right, if you saw the game, then you saw Kyle Shanahan really leaning into Jimmy Garoppolo on the sideline after his interception. After the game, he said it was inexcusable. It was. So this is very, very simple. And again, if you've been watching this channel, every week it feels like when we talk about the quarterback, he's missing a backside defender. So very simple. Again, the defense, the Vikings are in man coverage across the board, and you can see how they're head up against these guys. And then it's cover one, so it's one cross. he is going to be the high safety. And all one cross means is the weak side rotation. So instead of him coming down as the robber, he is the free safety, the weak safety to the boundary, as you can see. And he's just going to come and he's going to look to rob and take away any of the crossers. Jimmy's process is pretty simple here. He's going to try to look off to the left, knowing that he wants to go to Debo on that backside slant the entire time. Harrison Smith, very good safety for a very long time, has seen it all. He was not going to fall for that, and that's just a throw you can't make, man. Not against playoff teams, and this was a game that I felt like we would see the real Jimmy. Ignore what we saw against the Bears, even the Rams, because there's so much familiarity, but a team who, can win, has been winning, was relatively hot, and this was just going to be a true test of who the 49ers would play, I guess, in the playoffs. So here we go. End zone view. Left, comes back right. Just has no idea where Smith is. And you just can't do that in the NFL. And these mistakes haven't been hurting them the last few weeks because of the teams they've been playing. It didn't hurt them this week just because they were able to overcome it and the Vikings made their mistakes in the second half. But these mistakes have been happening all season, and that's the frustrating part. So when you hear like these stats or you hear like Jimmy's been doing this, he's been doing that, these same mistakes have been killing them all season, and it doesn't appear that they're going to stop anytime soon. That's concerning. One of the worst narratives and just the most untrue narratives that are going around is that the 49ers offensive line has struggled. Whenever somebody makes one bad play, you'll hear that, oh, the right guard, like he's an issue. So Daniel Brunskill messed up one time, and we never heard from him again for the rest of the game. He's fine. Like, that's okay. On this play, the Vikings are going to bring 5. 49ers are in max protection. So that just means they're going to have their 5 linemen, and they also are going to leave Kyle Juszczyk, their third down back, and George Kittle, their tight end, star tight end, into block. 3 guys are going to run routes. Debo's going to run a corner post, sting route. Ayuk's going to run over, and he's just going to sit down. Jimmy's going to find him. This is an EPA play right here where look at the space that he has. Like, there's nobody within, 5, 7, 10 yards, all kinds of space. He thought he was going to get hit. That's how surprised Ayuk was that he had that type of space. But when you give Jimmy time, when you give this offense time, I guess is a better way to put it, they're athletes. There's just way too many playmakers on this team, and they can have these type of chunk plays. So it was good to see, that keep up, that continue to happen, especially with a guy like Ayuk. But I thought there was one where they should have hit Ayuk down the field. We'll get to that next. All right, so the 49ers just ran the ball for a yard on first down. It is 2nd and 9, and we have a trips formation to the bottom of the screen, and then Brandon Ayuk is to the top of the screen. And they're going to motion Elijah Mitchell out, and as you can see, Anthony Barr, number 55, he goes out there with Elijah Mitchell. What does that tell you? They're in man coverage across the board. Whenever a linebacker goes out with a running back, that is an easy tell that the defense is in man coverage. So they're going to run a curl and a slot fade. Here's Harrison Smith. As you can see, he is trending toward this way. So there's no way he'd be able to open up and go back this way. Curl, slot fade, just based on the alignment, based on the play itself, common sense would tell you to give your best player, best wide receiver in this scenario, a chance downfield to win one-on-one. He actually wins. This should be a big play. Never gets a chance because quarterback is more comfortable checking it down in man coverage against a curl route instead of throwing the ball down the field. 1, 2, 3 throw. Sure, it's a completion for, 3-4 yards. That is not a positive play. There is no way that should be viewed as a good play, as a correct play. If we just watch our guy, the offensive guy, he's open. Right there, he's open. And if you throw that ball anywhere out in front of him, it's probably a touchdown. That was more egregious than the Kittle miss, in my opinion, just because the process is not there. Continue to check down. Let's watch the protection up front, because it should be 1, 2, 3 out. 1, 2, 3 doesn't even look down the field. That is an issue. One thing that eventually we'll get there, I know we're a ways away from that, but sacks mostly are a quarterback stat. When you give up multiple sacks on offense, it's probably because your quarterback is either holding the ball too long, not moving in the pocket or not seeing the field. In this case, it's a little bit of everything. So on this play, Anthony Barr, Daniel Brunskill, he's going to walk Brunskill back. This is a case where, two things are mutually exclusive. He could get walked back. He could also get rid of the ball sooner. So Brunskill just doesn't have his hands inside. Whenever that's the case against an athlete, especially like Barr, you're going to lose. But as far as the play goes, just like a bunch of crossing routes, Ayuk's going to run a through route. I believe Debo's going to run up and in. And then from the other side, Juice is going to chip, and I believe he's going to be the shallow. So he is the hot route, the shallow. If you get pressure, if there's pressure in your face, this route is put in just for this specific reason. So when there's pressure, get rid of it right away. He's chipped off. All these crossing routes are there for a reason, to pick him off. That way he's running free. This should not be a sack because you should be able to get rid of the ball. It's third down. There's no, I'm not saying that Juice is going to pick up the first down, but you at least give him an opportunity. So you'll be able to see it from this angle, both Brunskill versus Barr, and then how Juice just comes open. Chip, you got to give it up. Got to throw it to him. The real issue here is just the pocket movement, or I guess the lack thereof. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He doesn't move. You got to be able to move, man. And yes, I know he was walked back into your lap, but there has to be some sort of pocket movement where slide left, because there is, a pocket, a place to step up. Or if you want to slide right, probably not. There is a way to get this throw off. And the thing is, we see it. We've seen him do it. But we've seen plenty of other NFL quarterbacks pull this off, but not Jimmy, not in this game. All right, 3rd and 2. Have to move the chains here. They go empty, which I don't have a problem with, just because when you go empty and you have Ayuk, Kittle, Debo, one of these guys is going to be open. One of these guys are going to win. So it'll be tough for the defense to be right in 3 different spots. So here we go. Debo's just going to run off, clear out the coverage. Kittle's going to run a quick out route. The snap is low, which does mess up the timing here. And as you can see in his footwork, it should be 1, 2, 3, out. Like the ball should be out right now. As you can see, Kittle's already in his break. His helmet's going to get around. By the time that happens, the ball is just so late. He also left it inside. Is that an arm strength thing? I mean, probably. The timing of the play is messed up because of the snap, but it's got to be out much sooner than this. Now. Get the ball out. You can see the separation is there. If the ball is out here, he has a chance to run with the ball after the catch. The Vikings are in man coverage, so he is not a factor. Unfortunately, we never get there because it's late and inside, which is like a double no-no when you're throwing out to the boundary like this, to the field, especially like this. Jimmy's pretty fortunate this was an interception. Just can't leave it inside like that. Punt. All right, we actually haven't really seen a lot of play action rollouts, or I guess enough this season. So this is a really good play design, and it's open. The ball just has to be out sooner. So they're going to fake the run to the left. Kittle's going to run an over route across the field, coming back. Debo's going to run a quick underneath route, go out, and then Ayuk, who's going to be essentially the number 1 read on this play, he's going to run a deep comeback, and he's going to be matched up one-on-one against Harrison Smith. Ayuk one-on-one against anybody you'll take. Ayuk one-on-one against the safety you will definitely take. So here we go. Out. Now, so you see he's breaking. The ball has to be out. It's not. And there are a few different things that are wrong with this play. So let's talk about that. So as a quarterback, Jimmy, you see how he's taking his momentum? His momentum needs to keep coming downhill. He needs to carry his momentum downhill, and that way he can have more on this throw. That doesn't happen. He keeps, as you can see, he keeps going parallel to the line of scrimmage instead of getting downhill. And then just the timing. You look at the separation right here. Now. What is taking so long to get the ball out? Because of that, Smith is able to recover. That again, like these are driving me insane just to watch because they're so easy. It's so one-on-one. It's so simple. He has to get downhill there. There's nothing wrong, by the way, with looking back to George freaking Kittle. Like, you want your override. You want him to get his eyes there. It's a good job of recognizing he's not there, getting back to Ayuk on the outside, but it's taking way too long. Doesn't have the juice because he's not getting downhill. That has to be a completion. So we are still in the first half, And think about everything that I've talked about so far, everything that's transpired up to this point. It's 3rd and 8 because you don't have any confidence in your quarterback. You end up running a trick play in opponent's territory with Juwan Jennings having to throw a pinball screen across the field for it to work out. Do you see how the ineffectiveness from the quarterback is getting under the skin of the play caller, where he just doesn't feel like he can call, a drop back passing game on 3rd down when everybody knows he's going to pass and be effective because he's missing, because there was an accurate, or just not seeing the field. And you have to resort to these wild trick plays that just really don't have a chance, man. So that's where I think Jimmy was really hurting the team, at least in the first half. All right, it's 3rd and 11, I believe. The 49ers have just had a hold, so they're behind the chains. A couple short drop-offs to Elijah Mitchell. They were able to go from 1st and 20 to now 3rd and 11. So here we are. And on the play before this, I believe, so Ayuk was on the outside, and he ran like a nice glance, 5-step slant, 5-step post, whatever you want to call it. And again, there was a check down, but I understand why. So they come back to it, which is a great thing to do as a play caller. So here we go. Ayuk is going to run up, and he's going to go inside. Jimmy, probably his best throw of the game, one of his best throws in a long time. This is a seed. This is a laser. This is on the money. This is in between defenders. So once you see this play, you cannot complain about, anybody else saying throw the tight window, fit into those tight spaces. Really good throw here. Zoom. So we're going to find out here pretty soon how long Debo's out for. They're going to have to rely on Ayuk probably in the passing game more than than last year. But this throw right here, really, really good throw. Rewind it back. 1, 2, 3, ball's out. He doesn't even have, the linebacker, the underneath defender, doesn't even have time to react that it's on Ayuk, because it's on Ayuk so fast. Gonna need more of that. Really great throw right there. All right, so 2 more throws that I want to go over. I've never seen them run this play this season. So we've seen them run the return routes where they go up, fake like they're going out, and come back in. This time, Jennings goes up, out, fakes like he's coming back in, and then turns it up on a double move. This is a great red zone route. Good pass. Jennings almost comes down with it. They just essentially run out of room, and for a second there, I thought they would call it a touchdown just because I thought Jennings' shin came down before, but that's a whole other conversation. So these two mess up. One of them messes up, and if it's between George Kittle and Trent Sherfield, I'm going to guess that Sherfield is the one who messes up. They kind of run the same route. But anyway, good pass protection. Jennings runs that route I was talking about, the up, return. I really love that, and I think they should come back to that. I've never seen it before. Not in this offense anyway. But the spacing's there. 1, 2, 3 looks pumps. Maybe that pump is the difference of a touchdown and not, just so Jennings has more space. But good route, good play. Just an incomplete pass. And those hesitations, that split second could be the difference in everything, honestly. In this case, maybe 6 points. I just like the concept. I like the idea of giving Jennings, a slot fade, an opportunity. Just giving your guys, your athletes, opportunities down the field. All right, 3rd and 4. This is the last play I want to show. This is what the 49ers need from Jimmy. This is what the offense might look like for a week, 2 weeks, however long Deebo Samuel will be out, as he has a groin injury. So Jennings is going to run that return route, come back out. Trent Sherfield is going to run a slant. And then I believe Kittle is going to widen his release and get a little more depth and come across the formation. So Jimmy goes through his progressions, and gets back to the slant on time, in time, throws a contested pass, which these receivers, they're going to have to make, these next few weeks, and even in the playoffs especially. So let's just run through the play here. Watch Jimmy's progression. He's going to have to stand tall, sit in the pocket, and deliver these type of throws if the 49ers are going to continue to win, not only against, the lesser teams, but against the better teams, the playoff contenders as well. So this is just a really good rep all around from Jimmy. Doesn't really concede in the pocket, doesn't give too much ground, drifts a little bit, but that's just because there's a push. That's a good play. Give your guys a chance. And Sherfield, who we haven't really heard from since training camp, comes down with the play, makes a nice contested grab. Jimmy does a good job here of giving his guy a chance, going through his progression, not flinching in the pocket. That's something that he was doing earlier in the game. First down. So we're going to see, man. We're going to see what this offense looks like without Deebo Samuel. It is not going to be easy because he is one of, if not the most valuable player in the NFL that's not a quarterback as far as offensive-wise goes. So they're going to have their work cut out for them. It'll be interesting to see, but, I mean, Kyle Shanahan, they still have plenty of weapons. They'll be able to get it done.